Hey everyone, this is Tech 5100 here, and I'm working on this new building I bought. Is Kibri 8243. It's a half timbered brick house, and it's pretty cool looking. So I bought it on eBay, and I immediately liked how it would look on my Northeast corridor, or might look on my Northeast corridor. So I just went ahead and bought it. Um, Here's everything inside. I don't know what year this was made, but the box is pretty old. It feels pretty old. It smells pretty old. So I'm thinking maybe late 90s, but I was into Europe during the 90s and I didn't see this building anywhere because I know for sure I would have bought this building in the 90s. So I'm thinking it's probably 90s. It may be 80s, I don't know. But I have never seen this building since the 90s, so this is the first time I've actually seen it, and like I said, I just thought it would be a great additive to my Northeast corridor layout. Here's the instructions, and nothing on here says what year it was made, which is typical of anything European. Like in an American magazine, you get advertisements that have copyrights on the year, but in Europe, they don't necessarily copyright their stuff unless it's something, like music or name brand or something like that. But um, so this is the first time I've seen this building. I doubt if I'll get to see another one. There was no glue inside, so I had to buy some glue. I bought some glue at Walmart. Walmart doesn't carry, at least the Walmart I went to doesn't carry any more models, and so they didn't have any glue. So I had to go to the hardware shop and buy some glue. And I guess Walmart's not selling models anymore. I guess it's a dying art or something, or a dying hobby. I don't know how many people do this kind of stuff anymore. And I have a lot of buildings for my Northeast corridor. Um, Here's the walls, the front ends, they're flared out. This is something that's typical when you're making this building, and it's an easy fix, but it is kind of frustrating. Um, and I'm not going to be able to glue that together. And so, okay, so I'm going to start on the front end, and you got to be careful when you follow the directions because you see all these windows. They all look the same, but some of them are different, and it's very easy to put the wrong ones in, and you end up especially if the glue is a lot of glue and it solidifies real hard. You might as well just forget it, leave it as the wrong window. um, I have a lot of American and a lot of European. There's some things I like about a European. There's some things I like about American. Um, on this one, the foundation is real small. American layouts have a tendency to put sidewalks on their foundations, which is okay. But I always end up cutting off the sidewalks because they take up space and they take up a lot of street space. So here, all the windows are glued in now, and I'll turn it over, see how it looks. Looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna like this building. So now we're gonna put the windows in. Pretty much still got to pay attention to the numbers, or you could easily put the wrong windows in. When you get to larger buildings, it gets kind of difficult, as far as like putting in the wrong windows and making sure the right windows are put in and the right frames are put in. And it gets real tedious. So I have some skyscrapers that I've put together. Took me hours to do, and it was real frustrating because I had to make sure I didn't get the wrong ones, and I had to look for the numbers on the corresponding numbers on the windows and stuff. So now we'll start the second one. Another thing I like about European buildings is they come uh, color colored with the plastic, and the color looks realistic. Whereas Americans usually don't come colored; you have to paint it, which is an extra hours painting it. So that can be frustrating when you buy this nice building for your layout that you see online, and then when you pull it out of the box, it's completely unpainted, and it's like, oh no, now I gotta buy the paint for it. And so I forgot to put the door in on this one. If you noticed, now the door's in, and it's good to go. So then you gotta buy the paint, and you gotta and now you gotta come up with your own idea for paint, because you probably won't, unless you're not able to find the exact paint you want for that building. And Walters just recently started molding their buildings in colors. Of course, for European models, you pay more, but it just makes it that much easier, that much better looking. I guess you pay for what you get. If you want to paint it, then it'll be cheaper, usually, not always. But European models are very expensive, but you get very good quality stuff. When it comes to detailing, I don't really pay attention to detailing like the antennas and gutters. Sometimes I put the gutters in, but professional modelers, they say, the more you detail it, the better it looks. But since I like to model the whole entire Northeast corridor, um, I don't have time for detailing, and I really don't believe that people really pay attention. The general people don't pay attention to detailing unless you tell them about it. Like if I don't put the stairs in, probably half the people aren't going to notice that there's no stairs, and then the other half are going to notice that there's stairs. That's my kind of thing on it, and it helps. It saves time for me when I'm doing all these buildings. Um, the timber that you see on there, it's actually painted on there. It's actually pre-molded on there, so that saved me a whole lot of time. If you notice, you can see it's been pre-molded and it's been pre-painted on there. That probably would have taken me another extra hour just to put that timber on there. I don't know the purpose of timber, of a half timber house, if it's structural or decorative. Obviously it's decorative, but I don't know the history behind it. I'm not really a half timber house type of looking person. So I only bought this one because it looks good. There's a couple of others that's out there that I'm interested in purchasing because they look good. But generally speaking, obviously this one looks real good, but I'm not really a half timbered purchasing HO scale type of person. But I really like this one. I thought this one would look real good on my layout. I think I said that 3 times already. Uh, some of this building is snap fit. Like the structure was actually snap fit, and it has holes in there, as I showed you in previously. The glue's working real good. It's not modeler's glue, but it's real glue. Modeler's glue actually melts the plastic, so if you make mistakes, you're kind of screwed because it'll cement it real good. But this stuff's working okay. I couldn't find a seat for the second roofing, the angled roofing, so I didn't really know what to do. So sometimes you can't follow the instructions, especially European models. They can all of a sudden get real vague about halfway through. They get real vague on you. So I just went ahead and put the windows awnings in, and I decided to go ahead and seat the angled roofing onto the actual house first. So I just went ahead and seated it on there. So that way I could put the roof on top. Plus another issue is the bowing that I told you about in the roof, in the wall, the front ends. I won't be able to glue it anyway until I fix it. And three ways you can fix the bowing in the walls if you get any type of bowing is one, just to go ahead and glue it, and the glue will eventually cause the bowing to come out. Or you can get like some books or something and hold it in place and put the books on there and then come back maybe a week later. And another thing, of course, is with a lighter or a heat gun, and just very lightly and very carefully heat it. It doesn't take that much heat to heat it up and bend it back, because if you put too much, it's gonna melt. So you just need to just like a just like blow a soft blow on it, on of heat onto it to get it to work. So I've got both angled glued on there, and I'm just gonna simply put the roof on top, and I'm not gonna glow it. You can see the ends, the front ends are bowing out. I'll fix that later. And like I said, I don't like when it comes to detailing, you know, I try to leave the detailing that I feel that people really won't notice. So I just went ahead and threw the roof on top, and you can't really notice that there's bowing. People generally don't look for that type of detailing unless they really look close, or unless, you know, you go to one end and you're like, oh wow, look at that, that looks really cool. And then you go to the other end and you see it sticking out. So the trim, I just left it off. That's another thing, detail that you won't notice. See, if you look right here, you see that sticking out. And if people see that, they're not gonna say, oh, that's messed up. Nah, they're just gonna see that, and they're gonna say, well, you know, hey, it's plastic, it's not real. Gotta use your imagination. So that's pretty much it. Came out pretty cool. The whole time, the total time was 3 hours. Um, Probably without videotaping and trying to talk and trying to do it as if I was explaining it to somebody, it probably taken me an hour and a half. And I put the gutter, some of the gutter system on. So thanks for watching, and I hope maybe you find one to make one too for your layout.